Hey guys, Demon here today, and today I am reviewing this weighted blanket I just got recently. As you can see, it's heavy. It's a 30-pound weighted blanket. The heaviest one I could find was a 35-pound, but it was really expensive. But I had to go with this one, 30-pound. It was about $200. And man, these things are fantastic, okay? These weighted blankets are freaking awesome. This is like a queen size, so it can fit about 2 people. These things are awesome though, okay? As you can hear, it has stuff in there. It has a little stuff in there to make it weighted. It's pretty cool. These things are awesome. Just awesome in general. Why are they awesome? Why do I think they're awesome? Let's see. These things, what should I rate them by? I guess I'll rate them by comfort. It's very comfortable. It's not the softest blanket you can get. It's not like a soft material, but it's a nice material. It's a comfortable material. It's not like a scratchy material or an itchy material, so you're going to itch a lot. It's a nice material. It's also very comfortable to lay in. You might be thinking like, oh, it's going to weigh you down or something like that and make you feel like uncomfortable, maybe even claustrophobic. And I'm claustrophobic, so I should know what that feels like. But this does not do that to me. It might be a little bit difficult to lift up sometimes. Like, if I get stuck underneath me or something like that, it makes it 10 times harder to lift up, but it doesn't make it that much harder. But it's actually very comfortable, and it's very nice to lay in. Is it warm, or is it cold? To be honest, it's kind of cold if you live in a cold house and you leave it sitting there, obviously, because you will leave it sitting there, it will be kind of chilly, especially this kind, because this kind has like beads in it, like glass beads in it to make it heavy. So it gets kind of cold, but then like give it like 2 minutes after you put it on, and it will get up to your body temperature. And that reminds me, it doesn't really get hot either. It mainly goes to your body temperature, so if you're really hot and sweating, it will probably be pretty hot and sweating inside of it, so you'll probably be pretty uncomfortable. But if you're like just normal body temperature, this will just warm you up real quick, and it will just go back to your body temperature. To be honest, it's probably one of the best blankets I've had to have like insulation in it. It's one of the best blankets I've ever had. Like every other blanket, it's either too hot or too cold because it's too thin or too thick. This blanket, even though it's pretty thick, it's one of the best blankets I've ever had with that. I guess you get what you paid for, and if you buy a $200 weighted blanket, you'll get a pretty good blanket. Is it for everybody? Probably not. If you don't like weighted stuff, you probably won't like this. But if you do, you'll probably love this. This just makes you nice and cradled in. It makes you nice and comfortable. And if we're talking about sleep, man, this thing makes you fall asleep almost to like a fault, to be honest. Like if you have a TV in your room, okay, and you want to watch something on that TV before you go to bed, this thing will make you start falling asleep almost instantly after you put it on. You'll put it on, you'll lay there for like 5 minutes, maybe half an hour to an hour at the most, and you'll be like, oh, I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting sleepy, but I want to watch the rest of this show, or I want to listen to this song or something like that, but I'm getting sleepy. Like, this thing will make you start falling asleep. It's pretty ridiculous. It actually makes me fall asleep really fast. It's really nice. And I have, like, examia? Yeah, whatever it's called. And I can't fall asleep very easily, but this thing makes me fall asleep really fast. Unless, of course, I'm, like, really up and I'm not, like, sleeping at all. Unless I'm, like, really up. But even when I'm, like, really up, if I wear this for long enough, it just makes me drift off. This thing is very nice, and it makes you drift off a lot. And it's big enough for you, your significant other. I wouldn't suggest getting such a heavy one for your kids, obviously. There's other ones. There's like, I think it's anywhere between like 10 to 15 to 30. 35 is the highest one. I've already told you that. But it's really expensive. And they can be any size. This is a queen size that can fit 2 people. And man, it's just nice. It's comfortable. It's just what you need to get, man. It's what you need to get if you want a comfortable sleep, okay? But maybe it's not maybe it's not for you. It might be a little bit too constricting for you. It's not really too constricting for me though. And I am claustrophobic, so I know how it feels to be claustrophobic. But it's not too constricting for me, in my personal opinion. But maybe for you, it might be like, oh, that might be too constricting for me, right? So I don't know. But yeah, this thing, it's heavy. That's probably the biggest problem with it, is it's really heavy. And there's like so much of it, so you have to grab it by like 2 places just to lift it all up. It's heavy. And also, if something breaks open on this, if like one of these little squares, as you can see, there's like, let's see, I'll show you right here. See, as you can see, there's a square here, and each of these squares hold like individual beads, and they don't go into the other squares. They're all staying here. As you can see, there's a little ball right there. It's very squishy. It feels nice to squish it sometimes too. It feels nice. But these little squares, if one of these like pop open from like a cat, as you can see right there. Luckily, she hasn't popped it open yet, obviously. But if one of these pop open, you'll probably get like these little beads inside of here everywhere. You get little beads inside there everywhere. And plus, I guess you could return it if you have like a warranty on it. But if you don't, like that square will probably be empty. And you'll never get those beads back unless you can sew it back to yourself and put beads back in it, I guess. So if you can sew really well, you could sew it back up and put beads in it. Hell, you can even put more beads in it if you want. And you can put like different beads or whatever you want to put in there. You can make it really fluffy or really, really heavy. It's really up to you if you have the expertise to sew it back together, I guess. But yeah, those are the only problems with this. Is like, if this like gets cut or something like that, the beads will fall out, make a mess. And that square or 2 squares will be empty, but luckily the rest of the blanket will be fine. So you'll be okay with it, you know? You should be okay with it. But if they all break, the blanket's just going to be a torn up blanket, I guess, at that point. But yeah, it's nice. It's comfy. It puts you to sleep pretty damn fast. Like, really fast. Annoying parts, it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit hard to manage sometimes. You're going to have to, like, kick your feet to the right position, like, move your hands to the right position, because the blanket gets, it's heavy, so it's like, so you have to move around to get to the right position, you know what I mean? But after you are, man, this thing, it's going to put you to sleep. Not permanently, but just going to put you to sleep. It's going to be really nice. If you want to know where to get these, just look up weighted blanket on Amazon. I don't know if other stores have it. They might have it. But weighted blanket on Amazon. And you can be like, I want like a 10-pound to 35-pound. Or you could look up more, but I don't think they have more pounds. But yeah, these things, very nice. And I would suggest getting one if you have the money and you want to have a better night's sleep. Because this thing is just, it's a nice blanket and it works really well. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell notification, because that's the best way to keep up my content. Go to the link below to my Twitter. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace. If you did, you should check out this one or this one. Or, you know, click right there, because that will subscribe to my channel. That middle one right there. Anyways, I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to my Twitter and follow. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.